Hey everybody, we are back. This is the 2026 Grind Don't Stop Showcase on Florida Athletics Network. I'm Johnny Torres, your host, and joining me once again, Coach Ron Newsome. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing today?
Doing excellent. Great to see you. I can't believe it's already been a year since we were
Yeah.
down there showcasing some of Southwest Florida's best talent. We have some amazing gentlemen who came out last year. I'm sure that we'll see some familiar faces this year. As again, we had some underclassmen as well as seniors. But the point of this video really is to give people an idea of what to expect and why we're doing this. So why don't you tell us what Grind Don't Stop Showcase is about?
Well, in the same essence of the word grind don't stop. With the landscape now, college recruiting and different things like that, we have to create these avenues for these athletes so they can have opportunities to actually pursue if they want to continue to play basketball or not. So the grind don't stop is just basically centered around trying to provide a platform for the incoming, graduating seniors and some of the underclassmen to come in to perform, do combine drills, showcase their talents on skill development, and then be able to play in front of college coaches and be able to, send their film out with different type of measurements and measurables.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely right. I mean, this is really a showcase, a combine, to for underclassmen not only to kind of see where they stack up in terms of the local talent, but also, for those seniors to be able to, put some numbers down and also get some additional video that maybe they didn't have access to throughout the season and try to get in front of some of the schools and organizations around the country that are looking for talented players. And so, on that note, why don't you give us the perspective from who's going to be watching this broadcast, because we are going to live stream it. It's also going to be available on demand on YouTube. Who's going to be on the other end of this showcase?
Well, that is a very interesting question because we currently have probably over 20 colleges that's going to be live streaming this event from the D3 NAIA, D2s. There are some D1s that just want to pop their head in because they're not allowed to be there because the dead period. We have prep schools that's going to be there. We have over about 10 that's going to be in the building, watching the kids perform, watching them how they interact with one another, what their attitudes are. I mean, this is such to the point where the atmosphere is going to be set for kids that want to move on to the next level. We keep it at a small group, roughly about 100 kids. That way, it's a tight knit community to where the kids get a lot more action for themselves and a lot more attention put on what they're doing in that particular drill or in the games.
Well, and again, this is now our second year doing this amazing showcase. We had some fantastic talent come out last year, but now we've got a different problem. Everybody found out about it. Everybody's heard about it. So we're having to turn some people away. And so, for those who want to be showcased with Grind Don't Stop, what are some of the things that you're looking for to invite them to come out?
Well, we're looking at the 26 group right now because that's the immediate class that's graduating right now. So the 26 group is going to be heavily there. We will have some 27s, and there may be a sprinkle or two or 28 that we'll usually allow in that can actually handle something like that. But we more or less generally go after the 26 class, which is the current graduating class of athletes to give them a chance, give them a platform to showcase what they can do in front of these coaches. And I must tell you, from the conversations that I've had with variety of coaches, these coaches are looking for players. And I just got two phone calls today about, are we live streaming? And I'm like, yes, we are. They're like, can I give you my email address and you can forward them the information. We're gonna have a roster set aside so if the coaches jump on late, they'll be able to see exactly that kid or that profile of that kid that they want to get, and then we'll have the live stream, obviously, where we can send out the links. I just think this is a great opportunity. You brought up that last year it was kind of like people wanted to see what we were doing,
Yeah.
but when they saw the product, I just kept getting phone calls and emails of when we're doing it again. So I'm
Right.
excited. I'm very much excited for May 30.
Yeah.
May 30th, I'm very much excited.
Well, if that phone keeps ringing, we may have to make this a pay-per-view event. You know what I mean? Make sure they're getting their money's worth.
Everybody need to call Dana White and get some
That's
promotions
right.
going.
Exactly. Again, we're going to see a skills showcase. We're also going to have scrimmages. We'll have some guest coaches. Last year you had some amazing coaches. Do you want to like divulge yet who kind of our guest coaches might be, or maybe
No,
no, no? Okay,
nah,
because
I'm gonna hold on to that because I do got some. I'm working on a couple guys that are some very notable in the world of basketball.
okay,
So I'm gonna hold on to them until they actually confirm out. But yeah, it's growing to the point where I do got some former head coaches from a couple of schools that's going to be speaking. Former coach from Alabama, Albany State, he'll be there doing some speaking things. I have some other guest speakers that we're working on to try to get the information about the NIL and how that translates to this world of recruiting because it's
yeah.
so different now. So
Well, there's
uh,
so
we,
I mean, even in just the one year that you and I last saw each other, so much has changed, especially when it comes to NIL and portal and all this stuff. That is a whole new world for these
yes.
kids to navigate. But why don't we rewind a little bit? Tell us a little bit about who we had last year. So you don't have to give away your secrets for this year, as far as what they can expect. Because you did, you had some amazing speakers. Some gentlemen with decades of experience, and I think that's a huge value. To these kids, aside from what we're providing them in terms of visibility.
Yeah, we had a very viable prep school from Atlanta. We had Ava Maria in the building. We have Florida Southwestern in the building, actually coaching the athletes in the scrimmage games, which we will do again this year. That way, not only are the kids getting the combine drills, the different measurables, they're actually being coached by a college coach. So they get that experience right there, right now. And that alone is just valuable. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how much you can't put a dollar figure of being a high school athlete wanting to play at the next level, and you get an opportunity to go to a showcase to display your talent and be coached by a potential that is a college coach, which is, I think that's just awesome.
Well, and look, you and I both know, but this is something the kids might not know. If you're getting coached, by a college coach, I bet you other college coaches are going to call him to ask him, "Hey, what was working with this kid like? How did
Hmm.
he perform? How did he adjust?" Because one of the things that was amazing to me doing this last year with you was the fact that these kids, right away, almost you could tell who was comfortable adapting to playing with a coach they'd never been coached by before, and playing with players that they've never played with before. One of the things that a lot of my basketball friends talk about is the death of the
The
playground
playground.
games. You know what I mean? And so what used to be very common and people used to be very adaptable to now is a lost art because
Hmm.
you don't have that experience of jumping into a game with a bunch of guys you don't know.
No, it doesn't, man. And it lends itself to that, you have to be in that world of being uncomfortable playing like that because it makes it a little bit difficult. And but see, the nowadays, I tell the kids all the time, if you make it to college to play basketball, the number one thing that you got to understand, you are not playing anyone from your zip code. Everyone you're
Yeah.
going to be playing is going to be from some other state, some other country, some other culture. So you have to understand that you have to get out of your comfort zone. That's number one. And you got to be able to adapt to the different scenarios that are presented to you from just college life, living there. and then playing basketball, or some of the times when kids have the biggest issues is the transition. They in high school they were the man. They were the main guy. They were this.
Hmm.
They were that. But you get
Yep.
to college, it's a lot of main guys in college.
Yeah. They were
And
all
you
the main guys back at their high
gotta,
schools, you know?
yeah, you got to beat them out. So
That's
it's
right.
and then with the landscape now, and the outlets, and what's available to kids, what's not available to kids. I felt like to give them another avenue, because it's a lot of ways to play basketball these days. But when I
Hmm.
played, I didn't have a lot of avenues like the kids have now. You can find a way to play overseas
Yeah.
faster than you can do anything. So
Right.
this is a good opportunity for them not only to take their measurables with them. They could take the film to show it to a coach. So I
Hmm.
think it's just a great opportunity all the way around.
Well,
And
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 you
I
kind of you kind of touched on something that was another very poignant message given to the athletes that showed up last year, which is that don't look at D1 as being the only option, because guess what? That is a single digit percentage of the players
hmm
around this country that are going to get the opportunity to play D1. Look at JUCO, look at
hmm
D2 schools, look, like you said, look at overseas opportunities. I mean, there are more opportunities than ever if you just have the right mindset and being open to those opportunities to keep playing ball.
yeah, that's true. I mean, you gotta, it's never always about how you start. It's how you end. It's just like anything else in life. When we
Hmm.
play a basketball game, you can't win the game in the first quarter. You got to win it
Right.
in the fourth quarter. So you can start slow, medium, but you can finish fast and win the game. So
Hmm.
I just tell the kids, look, you know, everybody want to go D1. That's perfectly fine. But sometimes your path may not be the same path as everyone else. And you just got to kind of, and that's the theme of the grind don't stop. So if you feel like you need to make it to D1, keep grinding and don't stop, and you'll be there where you want to be at
Right.
the end.
So before we kind of divulge the details for this year, kind of give everybody, all the ins and outs of kind of how this is going to go. What can the athlete out there do to prepare for this showcase that wants to be involved?
Well, I would just say continue to work out. Don't do the normal stuff that you would do at the playground. Do a little bit different. Understand that you will be tested physically with the drills. Some of the drills you may be familiar with, some drills you may not be familiar with. But I would tell you to look up combine drills, and you will get an idea of that. You will be in front of college coaches at every minute you're there. So be prepared and have your attitude in check, because you never know. You pull into the parking lot, there may be a coach just pulling in exactly with you,
Yeah.
and you want that experience to be good. So I would say,
That's
hey,
right.
be on your P's and Q's the minute you touch the Norfolk Myers High School gym campus on
Hmm.
May 30th. Sign-ups is at 8 a.m. We get everybody signed in. Like I said, we're only going to take roughly about 100 players
Right.
to keep it kind of intimate, and we'll start our drills around 9 o'clock.
Well, you hit on something important there, and I want to reiterate it because it is that important, which is someone is always watching.
Yes,
Okay. And so, whether it's a water break, whether it's before the event, whether it's after the event, look, I remember some of the kids getting called out for being late,
exactly.
and we started late. So that means they were double late. you know
Yeah, yeah.
and so they still got called out,
hmm
and so again, come professional, you know what I mean,
Exactly, exactly.
come ready to be evaluated at all
hmm
times. And
hmm
especially now more than ever, we just came off of the NFL draft. You hear coaches talk a lot about, well, what is this person like off the field, right? And
hmm
that's what these coaches are going to look for. What is this? Is he a team player? What is he
hmm
like off the court? What kind of a
hmm
teammate is he? Is he somebody that's going to be frustrated and give up in the middle of a tough game? Or is this
hmm
somebody that can rally my other players and get everybody fired up and focused and maybe turn it around. So those are some of the kind of non, tangible factors that coaches look for that even at an event like this, they're absolutely looking at. Go ahead.
No. I think you hit it right there. I mean, it is all about the presentation. You can play well, you can shoot well, you can do all those things well, but those things that you just can't put a measuring stick to. People look at that stuff. I mean, you can
Correct.
walk to the concession stand and have some crazy words with the concessions lady, and you never know the concessions lady is tied to the coach or tied to the mother of the coach. I mean, it's just so sensitive with that type of stuff. You just got to be cognizant of that, and I hope that when they show up, they pay attention. And I'm pretty sure, just like last year, some had to be reminded of that.
Well, look, and again, not to bring another sport into the mix, but like we just saw with the NFL draft, there were some quarterbacks that got drafted in the first round, and
That's
there were
right.
some other top tier, top ranked quarterbacks that didn't get drafted at all,
Exactly.
and they went home
Exactly.
empty handed. And
Exactly.
so, I think that's a perfect example of how somebody is always watching. Coach, let's give them the goods. What are the details for this year's showcase?
Well, right now the registration will be out later today. You'll be able to find us on all the social media outlets. Grind Don't Stop. The registration is $100 a player. You will receive a T-shirt. You will receive all the different aspects of the day with the combine drills. You will be able to play against competition. You'll be in front of college coaches, either by live stream or in person, and you will be coached by a college coach while you're playing your scrimmage games. So
Yeah.
when you see the flyer, I will jump on it as fast as possible to sign up and register and be ready to go on May 30th at Norfolk Myers High School. Registration starts at 8 a.m. Like he said earlier, don't be late
That's
because
right.
it may hurt you if you're late. I will
Yeah.
always say be early as possible. If
You,
if it's 15 minutes, just be early.
your day might be over before it even gets started.
Exactly, exactly,
So,
exactly.
and then for the coaches out there, because we know this video is going to get in front of a lot of schools, coaches, organizations, recruiters. How can they get a hold of you? What are their steps to keep track of the Grind Don't Stop Showcase?
Well, you can always reach me at Red Knights Nation at yahoo.com. That's
That's
Red
Nights with a
Knights.
K.
Yes, Knights with a K, Red Knights Nation at yahoo.com. You can reach me there. You can send all your notices or what requests or anything of that nature. You also can reach me by phone 404-396-6692. And also you can reach me through our IG page with Grind Don't Stop, where you can see all of the upcoming events, all the things that we got going on, and you will be able to see the rosters once we have those rosters formulated. And you will be able to get to the live stream links through the YouTube channel, the Florida Network. So,
Yeah, no, we'll be sure to include all the contact information in the video, in this video as well, for those that are looking for it. Coach, thank you so much. Any kind of last words for any of the athletes or coaches out there watching?
I always say, grind don't stop. Keep
That's
pushing.
right. That's
Grind
right.
don't stop.
Well, on behalf of Coach Newsome and Florida Athletics Network, I'm Johnny Torres. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the Grind Don't Stop Showcase.